is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns. You're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role-playing games with friends. This is part of the ongoing intercontinental group of awesome series we're calling the Mauliverse. We are continuing our play of Minimum Rage, which is a Mutant Year Zero engine game from World Champ Game Co. It's Mallrats meets Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We set it in the late 90s, and the Mauliverse has forced us into making decisions like the place where you guys are, where this mall is Beechwood, California. And it's just going to organically grow like this. The mall will continue to grow. In fact, Sabine, who unfortunately is unable to join us today to play, but we'll be back soon. Sabine suggested this other game to me that I'm like, oh yeah, that seems cool. Green Dawn Mall. We can work that into the Malliverse. Sure. We've done some Teens with Attitude, and Tyler and I have been working on the back end about figuring out what hunter playbooks would work for a kids on bikes themed Monster of the Week game. So we're really having fun playing lots of kids in the late 90s who hang around this weird mall. But you notice in the background that I don't have a mall background because this is part of a two-part excursion where we have not all of the cast of players together. So we're breaking up and telling stories in parts about the big concert, the big Prodigy concert. And this is the first of that two-parter, three-parter, multi-parter that's going on. So before we jump in to introduce our characters, remind everybody of who's what, let's quickly go over our safety tools. We have lines against sexual assault, sexual violence, harm to children, pandemics, and slavery. We have veils, which means that, okay, this is content we're okay if it exists, but we're not going to shine a light on it, get into the gory details. Veils on sexual content, which is like a fade to black type thing, that because we're in the 90s, I get to actually have some sexy jazz play in the background, probably played by a very muscular guy wearing no shirt with like a chain collar for some reason. I don't know. And we also have a veil on harm to animals. Along with that veil is ask first, meaning that if we are about to approach the content of harm to animals, whoever is that idea, me or you, we quickly check in and say, hey, I think maybe this is the part where something happens to the dog, for example. I mean, I would say, this is where something happens to the cat, because I would never harm a dog. But check in with the table. If anyone says, hey, can we maybe not, or can we try it a different way? Boom, it's off the table. And if we do say, yeah, sure, okay, that's fine, we veil it. So it's one of those like double ups that I want to make sure everybody understands. On top of that, we have the X card. Hopefully everybody has watched this channel more than once. The X cards are trump, where you say, oh, I didn't realize that we were going to go there, and it's not fun for me. So you just say, hey, I need to X card X or Y. Feel free to use it. It always makes our games better if someone speaks up. And even if you don't speak up right at the moment, you're like, I think I can handle this. Like, I'm going to roll with this. It's no big deal. And it keeps cropping up or starts to bother you at that point, you can still X card then. That's fine. If Disney can get rid of all of the expanded universe of Star Wars, we can retcon a little bit too. It's no problem. So let's do the introduction of our three slackers. We're going to go from left to right on the character keeper, which no one can see but the four of us at this moment. Tyler, if you could introduce yourself and tell us about your character.
Hi there, I'm Tyler, he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Wolf Weiler, who is he's our table topper, he's a stoner, he's the GM for our vampire game, and he actually has a little bit of magic. He can polymorph himself. So far, we've seen him polymorph into animals. He is kind of a smart ass. He's a smooth talker, though. And he kind of at least envisions himself, like many GMs, as the leader of the crew. And so he has some abilities that sort of reflect that strategy and deduction and leadership and that sort of stuff.
Thank you so very much, Tyler. And next up is Jen.
Hello, I'm Jen. I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing Brooke Slater, who does the same. Brooke is the zinester, has a bit of an artiste personality. Her fortes are making stuff and doing interpersonal stuff, and also sneaking around, although as of end of last session, she's got some guts to toss in there as well.
Guts.
Yeah, guts. And she's hyped for the show.
Sweet. Last but not least, Jan, welcome back, and introduce yourself and your character.
Hi, my name is Jan. He, him pronouns. I'll be playing Rolf O'Neill, also he, him pronouns. He's the superhero class and the stoner personality. He's good at fighting, good at skating, good at being fast. He's gutsy, and yeah. He has a skateboard, which he will probably break it again at some point.
It's true. It's true. I just love that when you could take on a new talent that you decided that you had the need.
For speed,
the
yes.
The need for speed. That's very 90s of you. I appreciate it. Top Gun was the 90s, right? I'm so old that I can't remember. The decades kind of mixed together. 80s? Is it really 80s?
Late 80s, I think.
Wow.
High school.
So anyway, forget that reference. Please wipe it from your mind.
86.
Everyone, 86?
Yeah.
That's almost the 90s. If you round up by decade, it's basically the 90s, right? Right? Anyway, stop using Google to shame me.
If it makes you feel any better, Speed, the movie, was released in 1994.
There we go. It's great that when you need a talent, you needed to go nowhere below 55, I think. Like you had to go above 55 at all times and therefore chose Speed. There. Now my reference is complete. Let's move on. Thank you for that save, Jen. You guys are headed to the Prodigy concert. We had ended with everybody at the mall all ready to go. Now, I want to check in, Jan, because I noticed that you still have the smelly condition. Do you still have the, like, are you going to the concert smelly, or do you think you've resolved that with some 90s version of Axe or something like that?
I'm trying to remember what I got it from.
Right. I can't remember either. It's been a while. So why don't we go ahead and remove that condition? I just want to check in about it. Sweet. Now, Brooke was riding, if I remember correctly, with her girlfriend. Like they've kind of declared this now. So Muffy in her cabriolet. I don't know if I gave the color of the cabriolet. Was it pink or was it white?
I can't remember. Honestly, cabriolet doesn't mean anything to me. Cabriolet does.
So it's a type of Volkswagen that was probably from the 80s, but my brain thinks is probably it was a convertible, effectively like kind of sort of like a convertible Bug to a degree.
Okay.
But they were cute for the time. Oh man, they were maybe not that cute. Oh, you know what? Right color, and they're it's an 85. Yeah, so I think these there. Anyway, it's a convertible, little sporty, small convertible. Yeah, we'll go with it being like a white, and it does turn out that these are pretty old.
And it's summer, so the top is down.
Of course, the top is down. Yeah, I'm finding some mid-90s cabriolets, and they are cute. All right. There, I feel vindicated. I'm not always wrong and old, just often. I'll quickly share a pic for you guys for whenever. Oh, it's gigantic, so I'll forget that URL. So you were headed off. I can't remember. You had taken one of the other slackers. Maybe we should say it is either Wolf or Rolf. And I know someone else had ridden with Chad, but since Chad is not here, then maybe we.
I think I did.
Yeah, so it's not a huge deal, but I wanted to make sure the three of you end up together at least at the parking lot when we pick up. Echo was riding with Percy, if I remember correctly. So the two of them are easily separated off. Yes. Oh, by the way, just as a reminder, the NPCs in Mall Map are always on your Use Slackers tab of the minimum range if you ever need to quickly access it. I didn't throw up the link, but I have. Oh, someone beat me to it. Thank you. So, guys arrived. We had some cool cardigans that was playing in the background per suggestion from Jen. Thank you for that, Jen. That is a great and wonderful music cue to use. The song that you had chosen, let's see. I can't remember the name of it. It was the Cardigans. The Boys Are Back in Town. And Beechwood, in our Mauliverse setting, the popular techno electronica band known as the Prodigy, most famous for their song Firestarter, but a number of others who often open for Madonna. That in our world, they are also popular in the United States, as popular as they are in the UK, because after doing a little research about who might have opened for the Prodigy in the late 90s, I found that they really didn't do many shows in America. They were in Australia. They were all over Europe. They were in Russia. They had 2 shows in Europe, one in California, one in North Carolina. But in our world, the Prodigy does play America a little bit more often. And after a little bit of pregame chatter, we have decided that they even have an opening band, which they didn't often have. And I think that we are going to say the band is called The Slow Breaking Down of Reality. It is a local punk band from here in Beechwood. Now, Brooke, you're from Goody, so I think you know the deal about the slow breaking down of reality. But Muffy has no idea about this band. She's still kind of a baby music fan, just moving her way out of angry rap music into the wider world of hip hop. The Prodigy, she's mostly there because she knew you would want to go, and also it seemed interesting. So as you guys are riding to the Beechwood Outdoor Arena, which I'm thinking just for coolness is near the beach, right? One of those like outdoor concert type deals that's near the beach, but far enough away to where they're not going to pay exorbitant prices. And the parking here is terrible. So you're parking in like grassy areas that aren't exactly grassy anymore.
Kind of flagged off.
Yep. You have to drop like, it's 90s, so like $10 for parking, which is crazy. Like, wow, man. $10 for parking.
Highway robbery.
and it's one of those, like, as you're pulling across to your particular cordon off space, you know, everything's super bumpy and everything. They do have some like slightly bored people who are probably about your age who have hastily thrown together orangish flags to Parkway robbery. That's, yeah, for real. Who are directing you guys to park, and it's one of those half-mile walks to get to the outdoor arena area as you guys all park. And just so we have the three of you together, we'll say that Muffy, Brooke, Wolf, and Rolf, all four of you effectively end up parked near each other. And
Yeah, we're in the same lane of parking.
It's same lane of parking. You're nearby, and you know, this is so kind of sort of jank that, like, it's not like you've got to go, okay, which tree will I recognize so that I can find this row again type deal. This in modern times would be when Rich takes pictures of the area where we are parked so that I can reference it. This is the late 90s. That is not a luxury that you have at your disposal. And there are a number of people who are parking and arriving at this time, right? While there are hundreds upon hundreds of people who have already arrived or at the venue, even though the opening act hasn't even begun. They're still, you know, this is the thing where the concert's really not going to get going until, I think we said like 8-9 o'clock start time, right? So it's going to get, yeah. Ren Fair parking is a great analogy for Americans. Jan, I'm curious, what is terrible parking and having to walk a really, really long way? What is the kind of venue that we would have in Belgium or somewhere nearby?
There's like outdoor concerts, yeah.
Outdoor, yep, this, okay.
Yeah. We've got like Rockwerchter.
So there are, of course, people wearing Prodigy t-shirts because that's a thing that you do.
I mean, my goal is to leave the concert with a Prodigy t-shirt.
Right.
And enter with a Clash t-shirt.
A Clash t-shirt. That's great. So as you guys are walking down the grassy area that is the strip between, right? You know, you got that kind of two trough tire tread marks of all the cars that have gone up and down what has now become the alley that separates the two rows of parking areas. And you don't want to walk there because there are cars just going up and down it. But you're walking along the grassy strip that most people have. So now Muffy says, like, I've never heard of this slow breaking down of reality group. They're like local or something?
Yeah, they're new. They've only been around for like 6-8 months, I want to say. Gosh, they've done a couple of shows at goodness, they've done a couple of shows at the Rail and
like the Rail.
And, you know, Bob's House of Bad Decisions. Honestly, BRB, guys, I'm going to go establish a business.
Bob's House of Bad Decisions. Yeah, check to see if that URL exists.
Mm-hmm.
And as Brooke is giving the 411 on this weird group, the slow breaking down of reality, there's a person who's selling unopened glow sticks because it's the 90s and this is a concert, so that's totally a thing that has to exist. And you know, people are like handing over a few dollars to grab these like glow sticks, and one person's looking at the rest and he's got like glow nunchucks. Yeah, you know, he's super stoked about that. And there's a 12-year-old girl who like clips on some like glow stick earrings, and yeah, there's all kinds. There's like glow stick, you know, snap bands and stuff, slap bands. don't know if that was exactly 90s, but you know, like plasticky bracelets that you can
I think those were pretty 90s. I remember those when I was young.
slap band. Okay,
Slap
awesome.
bands.
Slap bands. Yeah, glow sticky slap bands and the like. Wolf, Rolf, if I remember, the two of you have already done a little bit of pre-gaming, as it were.
Yep.
So how are you enjoying the trip, Wolf?
Probably definitely kind of mellowed out and moving through the crowd and enjoying the light show. But, you know, at the moment, it's more of just a nice, smooth mellow, I think.
Now, what about Rolf? You know that the preps are going to be here. That
I think it hits Rolf a little bit differently, and he's being like very talkative and just going on and on and on, which is the worst combination ever.
Kind of, yeah, yeah,
and then,
and as you guys are walking, coming closer, you're like a quarter mile away. You see that someone has set up a booth, and this booth is giving away what's the most 90s products that like someone would be hawking and giving away promotions of.
Let me do a quick Google search. I'll be right back.
All right, cool. So you up ahead, you see a booth, lines forming up, people grabbing little bits of it. I remember, personal, very quick story. My father and I went to a football bowl game, a college bowl game in the 90s. And there was a giveaway of this particular like steak burger from some company from Australia called Outback. And they were just giving them away. So my dad and I stood in line, had to eat it. And the thing was, it was like right by the place where you go in. You couldn't bring in other food. So my father and I stood in line for a good 15 minutes, got our burgers, and had to eat them in the 2 minutes from going from booth to going into the stadium, because my dad wasn't going to stand around, even though we stood around for 15 minutes. That's just former Marine Corps sergeant, high school principal, dad priorities. So yeah, there's like just eating a very delicious, the best steak burger I've ever had. Did I buy enough time? Jen, what do we have?
I mean, immediately Red Bull jumped to my mind because in about like 1997, I think, was when Red Bull started going in on sponsoring extreme sports.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And like showing up everywhere with free cans.
Gives you wings.
Gives you wings. So them for sure. Goodness, were there any early online music services that were a thing?
Days? Napster?
I mean,
Napster
yeah,
days?
but Napster, I don't know if Napster would ever like hand out merch.
Yeah,
and then
true.
what was the service that did
shit. Are you like AOL? Like they're giving out AOL discs? Like the little
Oh god, yes, they're giving out AOL discs. And
yes.
Yep. Each one comes with 6 hours free.
So perfect. Oh, that's great. Yep. AOL discs, giveaways, and Red Bulls. That's the best. People are coming away with like, one guy saying, yeah, you can like write over it. All you have to do is pop this little tab and then you can use it to save whatever you want.
BRB, I have some needs.
Okay. Cool. So Brooke and Muffy go stand in line. Rolf and Wolf, as the two of you are, well, I guess Rolf's talking your ear off, your mellow ear off, Wolf. There is a sleek, heavily tinted, for a moment you think it might be a sedan, but then it's a little too long. And that's as it passes you heading towards the stadium, you realize that it's a hearse. and is headed slowly towards the stadium.
It's pretty metal.
You think that's the band?
Yeah, probably, man. They're just going and they're just being super metal about it. And they're just arriving in style. It's like driving up in a limo, but like cooler, you know.
That is
And
cooler. We should like pool our money and get a hearse.
Yes, and then we can go. Oh yes, and
That would be so cool. We could slap. It'd be like the Ghostbusters, only ours would be black and spookier.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And as you guys are just chatting, Rolf, you get kind of like shoulder bumped as someone walks past you, but goes slightly out of their way to where you are in their way so that they can justify shoulder bumping just a little bit as they walk past. And it's Damon Dillon. And right behind Damon is Zachary Durand, the kick-ass AD&D Dungeon Master Extraordinaire. And Sylvia's behind him. Zachary pauses. Damon, there's no reason to be unkind. Oh, the two of you. Are so very baked, are you not?
What? No. I mean, we're fine.
I figured you'd be a Prodigy fan. I figured you more for Barry Manilow.
Yeah.
And Sylvia says, he doesn't even know who Barry Manilow is. And Zachary says, of course I know who Barry Manilow is, but I'm not a fan. You mistake me, Kyle. I delight in all forms of electronica.
Tripsicorian Muse kind of sings to you.
You can say that.
Are you going to be up front?
No. I want to enjoy the entire experience. When you're right up front,
That is the experience.
You enjoy is like spittle and body sweat, and neither of those appeal to me.
So
is that where you're going to be, Rolf?
Yes, of course.
Well, I thought you'd be in the mosh pit. I've heard there's going to be a hell of a mosh pit. Damon's like,
he
knows better than to go to the mosh pit.
It's going to be out front.
That'll be up
Obviously.
Near the front.
Zachary says, that's interesting. I'd heard that at Prodigy concerts, they made sure that only attractive people got near the front.
Oh, I see why you're not going to be there.
You beat him to it. You beat him to the punch. Oh, Zachary did the setup and you knocked it down. Rather than try to squabble about you stole my joke, Zachary just, very witty, very witty. I'm sure that you use those wits when you run your vampire game for your 3 friends. 3.
Our crew is plenty enough. We've got to
intimate little gathering that you have.
It's not even true. I have more players than that, but I don't say that. That would be losing my cool. I say, well, quality over quantity.
At least we can also fit our players at one table, so that's that.
More tables, more fun, friends. Someday I'll run a game for you guys. And Sylvia looks like shocked at that suggestion. But Damon sneers.
Fine by me, then you can see some actual role playing.
Oh.
Kind of glance over towards Sylvia and just kind of nod, hey, thanks.
It's cool. And Zachary looks at her for a second, like he doesn't know exactly what the two of you were talking about. And he says, come along. We have some other members of the grand party to attend to. Well, nice to see you, Wolf.
Sylvia, are you going to be in the mosh pit? You'd be good there.
Sylvia says. I mean, like maybe. Are you going to be in the mosh pit, Wolf?
I like to get in there and mix it up on some, yeah.
Cool. Maybe I'll see you guys later.
Hey,
Cool.
yeah.
And they mosey off. So we'll say that you guys leave Brooke and Muffy behind with plans of meeting back up at some inside the concert noticeable thing. Like, oh, here we go. You guys are going to meet up at the Balloon Man, right? They'll have, a couple of those, like, inflatable men. Thank you. Yes, that's what I needed, is Jan doing the inflatable man impression. This game has been taken to the next level. That's probably going to be one of the thumbnails that YouTube suggests I use.
Rich, while we don't have Jen for a second, can I ask something here? And I don't know if it's quite going to an X card, but I'm curious, can we retcon something a little bit?
Sure, what's that?
Sylvia's age. I went back and I dealt with when, with like Rolf having punched her at one point and how this thing is going. Can we maybe age her up a bit? There's something a little weird about a 17-year-old guy punching a middle school girl, and it also opens up a little bit of maybe more role play between she and I.
Okay, I am completely amenable to that. Does anyone have any counterpoints they want to bring up? Okay, so through the magic of the X card retconning and the power of our imagination, then Sylvia Ellinger is now, what do you think? Do you want her to, I still like 16? The idea of her being, like a year younger than you kind of deal. Yeah. So I'm now putting in, instead of just saying wrestling all-star, also avid D&D player, 16-year-old wrestling all-star, also avid D&D.
It's very special. She's the only one that gets an age.
I know, everybody else is loosely defined. Some of them are as played by people who are far older than the teenagers they're supposed to be. But I like that picture that I'm using for Damon Dillon, and I'm just sticking with it. I don't know why, but I decided I wanted Damon Dillon to be played by the lead singer of Green Day, and that's the youngest picture of Billy I could find. So
that's where it's going.
That's what it is. If the CW can do it, and they have millions of dollars, we can do it on our shoestring budget of nada. Sweet. So we just, Brooke and Muffy, you guys stood in line to get Red Bull and an AOL thing. I think that Muffy would look at the AOL thing and then end up probably just hanging it off to Chip, the guy from the gadget shop who's there, like collecting any extra ones that people don't want. Right? He's got like a bag, Yeah. As he's got an electronics or a gadget shop bag, and he's just like it's like half full. He knows that he's going to be loaded down with all these AOL. They're 3 1/4, right? They're not the 5 1/2 floppies. They did them in the little square-ishy ones in there. So you get that, and I think. I imagine that Muffy would like immediately open up the Red Bull, take a sip, go.
Okay, now I have to try mine. Oh, man, that is nasty.
What? How do you get wings from... No, it doesn't get better.
And I'm like reading the ingredients list. Niacin, yellow number 5. Usually that's at the bottom of the list, but that's like in the middle.
This is like medicine, but it's not making me better. It's making it worse.
Okay, let's find a trash can and maybe we'll get some water instead, because by all accounts, these are energetic shows and we should have water so that we don't sweat ourselves to death.
Yeah, totally. And then there's this like big blue plastic barrel, and as you start to throw away your Red Bull, you see like there's stacked just cans and cans and cans of it. And there, of course, is like a small pool of Red Bull because most people did not drink the whole can. So Brooke, you may have just like noticed it going by, but Wolf and Rolf, as they were standing there, they had a little bit of interaction with Zachary Durand, Damon, and also Sylvia, the 16-year-old wrestling star, all-star, and also avid AD&D player. So they chatted for a little bit. And also, there was a hearse that slowly rode past. Yeah,
Yeah, and
like,
I pointed out, I'm like, it's a hearse, check it out.
do you think there's a dead person who's coming to the concert?
Maybe they're seeking to come back to life.
This would be such a weird will. Like, I bequeath unto you the ability to take him to the Prodigy concert.
Okay, but I gotta take some notes.
So you guys head on after dropping off your Red Bulls, and sure enough, there is somebody with a big tub, like a big plastic tub filled with ice with a bunch of water bottles, $3 a pop. And Muffy's like, yep. And she pulls out a 20 and she pays for everybody to get a water bottle, and then realizes, oh, wait, this guy's not going to give me change, because he does the like, I don't have a whole lot of bills. You sure you want like another water bottle? And she's like, yeah, fine. Just give me.
And I'm like, you're full of shit, dude.
Ooh,
I just
you're
saw
gonna call
you
him on
take.
it?
I saw you take a slate of ones. I am sure you can pull out a wad and give change. You lazy
Nice.
bitch.
Cool. So you're right. He absolutely can. But we're going to go to dice just to see if this creates a seed of some kind, or if you embarrass someone. So let's build it.
All right.
I definitely think that this is a savvy roll. You're very savvy. So
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna. I think the suck pool resets to 0 at the start of sessions.
it does.
Bwomp. There we go. All right, so I have none of that to draw on. Would you say that this was empathetic or gutsy?
Gutsy.
All right. We're going to savvy plus guts this for 5 dice.
Looking for 5s or 6s because you used a talent?
And I'm going to use my community special.
Ooh, nice little setup for later. Not a bad call at all.
So I'm going to roll 4 dice instead. Taking 1 for the team. Rolling it. What we got? Hey! 1 6, no ones.
No, 1s, 1 6. That's perfect. The guy's like sheepishly. He says, yeah, no, you're right. Sorry. I forgot that guy just gave me those 1s. I stuck it in the other pocket here. And he like reaches in and gives some grudging change. The 4 of you getting waters will be 12, so he owes 8. And finally, she's like, now just give us 2 more waters. We'll totally need them. And then he gives just a couple bucks change. And then you guys can move on. Muffy's like, oh, you are so... You do not play. You do not play around. My girlfriend is mean, and you better not mess with her.
Yeah, okay, whatever. If he doesn't want to give change, just put up a sign, no change.
We shouldn't give him that idea, though, right?
I'll let him come up with it himself. If he wants it from me, I'll have to charge.
And then after walking the last quarter mile, you get to the line. And there is a ticket booth. Most of the people who are in line have tickets, but they're actually doing like a little bit of a check, right? They're checking bags. Anybody that's wearing big bulky clothes and like track pants or whatever, they're gonna do a little talk to or a little pat down. Is there anything you guys want to try to hide on your person when you eventually get up to the lining and go through the process?
I have definitely hidden a J in the roll up of my stocking cap.
You're good. Not even a roll. Not even a question. Even if they discovered it, they'd be like, you dropped your cigarette, sir. Anyone else?
I think I left my tote bag in Muffy's car because am I going to break out my drawing tools in the concert? Fuck that. No, of course not.
Are you?
No.
I think Muffy would insist that tote bag goes in the trunk, right? She's like, they can cut through the... My dad told me all about the, they're very worried about that stuff.
Well, okay.
Yeah, so we'll just put it in the trunk, and then she, of course, locks it. What about Rolf? Anything that he's going to try to?
He's got a little bag of weeds packed in the bottom of his cigarette pack.
Cool. Yeah, that does not attract attention either. So, no big deal.
They're looking for knives and guns.
And as you guys are nearly to the front of the line, as people are taking tickets, they start to pipe in a little bit of music over the loudspeakers, and there's a cheer from people, and it's like mostly music of the style that people from coming to this concert would enjoy. More living a little more top 40s stuff. It's not the kind of cuts that you would probably choose, Brooke, but it's pablum for the masses, might be said.
Keeps us from getting too bored. There's a threshold when you've got a crowd like this that you don't want them to dip under.
Mm-hmm. And then after the checks, and I do think that Rolf, there's a moment when one of the security guards kind of notices that you might have some weed, because like, no weapons on this guy. So keep it cool, man. Just keep it cool. You head inside. And there's a little bit of concrete, but then all of the actual concert where people are going to be standing, it's just standing room only. And it's just this old kind of grassy area. But the bit of poured concrete, there are a few actual concession stands. The water is $5 per bottle inside the concert official area. And Muffy says, "Oh shit, did we get a deal?"
We apparently beat the curve. High five.
I guess high five does happen. They're selling Prodigy t-shirts at one of the venues. They're also selling jewel cases of CDs for the show, the Slow Breaking Down of Reality's CD single. Like, they don't have a full album yet. They just have like one song, 4 versions of that song, and a B-side. Is about all they've got set up here. So where do you guys go? There are bathrooms here. There's like a set of bathrooms and then a row of porta potties. You see they're still doing like last checks and everything. This show doesn't go live for another official 45-ish minutes type deal.
You guys want to check the merch, or do we want to try and spot a really good location to stand around?
Grab a spot.
Yeah, I can't buy anything, so yeah, let's hit a spot.
And as you guys start moving through the crowd, kind of waving around, because everybody's in clumps, mostly in those little circles talking to each other type deal. Muffy would move up and kind of whisper ask you, Brooke, "Hey, if Wolf wants some merch, like, I could totally get it for him, but would that be uncool?"
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because my dad gave me $400 because he said everything's expensive here.
All right. Not yet, though.
Right. Okay. Just give me a thumbs up if that's a thing that should go happen or something.
No, it's cool. Kind of want to pick up that single. See if it's any good.
Okay.
But we could do that on the way out, because
you don't think they're going to sell out?
if they sell out, there will be other shows where they maybe do their merch. Or maybe not, because they're a small local band and they might die next week.
That's sad.
But, I mean, I don't have any reason to be super excited because I haven't heard them yet. Who knows? The music world is risky, man. It's like quicksand.
Cool. You guys are able to get up near the, those guardrail things that they all interlock together so you can expand out. It's almost like crowd control Legos in a way. But you guys can get within like two bodies lengths of the actual front gate, and there's a space there where the security guys can kind of walk up and down. You see that the stage is being set up, and a bunch of the roadies are going through and erecting the drum set and putting all things together. Then all of a sudden, the beach ball kind of pops around, and some people are like bouncing.
Now it's truly a concert.
It's truly a concert now.
Yep. Yes, I'm hyped to be close to the stage. I'm like, oh man. Like at their live shows, they do a really good job hyping the crowd, so we're in a great spot.
I want to crowd surf.
Do not crowd surf.
Bad idea.
Bad
Especially-
idea.
It looks so cool in the videos.
They're gonna.
It's really cool in the videos because everyone who is doing it in the videos is a paid actor or dancer.
And also they're gonna grab onto your skirt and shit. Don't.
Yeah.
Pick your pocket.
There's that. And then drop
Also,
you.
yeah, if the crowd doesn't have enough energy, they'll drop you. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's terrible. Why would they encourage that in music videos if it's that awful?
Well, the thing is, if it's the artist doing it, everyone will carry them properly. But you're not one of them. So
No,
don't
I
care.
mean, right, of
No,
course.
right.
I
Like,
mean, more than likely, they'll just grope you for a while.
yeah, like crowd surfing is a moment. It's a moment that's usually enjoyed by the bands if they ever do it. And like some of the fans at some particularly hype shows where the crowd is like really good and local and familiar. And
Like
maybe
a Fish
some.
concert, maybe.
I,
No?
You know, I'd risk it at a Fish concert, but it would have to be a really high energy portion of the concert, and it's
Oh, that's
Fish.
true. They'd probably go to sleep.
But you know, I feel like they wouldn't necessarily want me to drop on purpose, though. You know, I would try to start it, and then I'd fall, and they'd be like, "Oh shit, I'm sorry." You know. Oh, and
she
also,
like pulls her shirt and kind of ties it so it's like a little bit of a half shirt as you guys are talking. She's starting to get
Yeah.
a little like sweaty. It is hot out. By the way, a little factor from last session that I meant to bring up at the top of the game session is just a reminder. You have mood colored hair, Brooke.
yes,
You have mood ring hair dye that Brooke, and if I remember, Muffy participated in this, and I know Echo did for sure. So that's a thing that we'll have to keep in mind. I have notes. Blue is sad, angry is red. We went from really, really obvious colors because I think that's great. Jealousy, green. Purple is happy. And I think that there's like flickers of purple in Muffy's hair. She's pretty happy to be here. This is kind of super exciting.
yeah. And then I'm like, oh, and also, and I like reach into my pocket and I pull out like this little tube and it's just full of earplugs, and I'm like, these are for you, and these are for you, and these are for you, and these are for me.
You're so thoughtful. But we put them in when the concert starts because, right, I want to be able to talk to you guys.
Yeah. I mean, so the trick with earplugs at a concert is if you're wearing them during the concert, you will actually be able to hear the people standing next to you.
Really?
Better than if there was all of the noise cutting them out. It's not
Huh.
great, but it's better. And then you're protecting your hearing. All of the professional musicians that are cool that I know are like, wear earplugs at shows.
Right.
And I
Yeah,
feel like a dork
totally.
when I do it, and people call me a dork at shows, and fuck them.
Well, I have an extra water bottle. We could just throw a water bottle at them if they call you a dork.
I
a
elbow
waste,
roll
but I
and say under my breath, dork.
Cool. We've been going at it for a bit. I think this might be a good time to take our break, and then we'll just advance time to it's starting to get darker, and the opening act comes on to the stage. So it's 7 after. Just take, I don't know, 7-10 minutes, much time as you need, and we'll see you guys when we come back. So see you guys in a bit.
All right. Just managed to collect a very fun story from my girlfriend who has actually been to bunches of
Really?
concerts, whereas I've been to like 2 concerts that were very small.
I've been to a few, quite a few, but there's not a lot of outdoor concerts happening around here, except for like the bigger festivals
Right.
where parking is really a bitch.
I can imagine. Like
You have
bad
to take a
parking.
bus from the parking to venue because
Oh, that's rough. That's rough.
yeah,
I mean, at least they provide a bus.
that's true. A lot of people walk too. Like it's about a half an hour walk, probably, at least, depending on like if you're on a good parking.
Rough. Okay. All right. I got a story I gathered up from Leah, who has been to some shows specifically about crowd surfing. So
Yes. Share a story about crowd surfing.
long ago in the before times, Leah went to a concert where she got her nose broken, but that is not the story we're telling today. No, she went to a Gogol Bordello and Flogging Molly concert. And one of their openers was some nautical themed band that was not as good as either of them. And they got really, really sweaty. So sweaty that one of them tried to crowd surf and the crowd dropped him because his body was too slippery. And like they tried for a little bit and then gave up.
We can't pick you up, man.
Yep, it's just not going to work. So there's the story.
That is a good story.
Let's not do it.
It's just a bad idea. Crowd surfing looks cool in music videos, is not good in real life.
I love that. I love that all 3 of you are like, this is a terrible idea, Buffy. What are you talking about?
I mean, I can see the appeal. It looks so elemental and primal and exciting and different, you know? But
It does look amazing in those music videos. So we pick back up with half an hour or so has passed and the piped in music stops and people are starting to get excited. The press of humanity has pushed you guys closer and closer to the rails. The music, after it dies down, is replaced by just the excited, 1,000-voiced noise of people talking, and these are a bunch of people taking like snap photos of everything. We do a quick flash and we see that Echo has her PDA up and she's taking a couple of quick pictures. And then we come back to the 4 of you, Brooke, Wolf, and Muffy. And the lights come up and a person comes out and he says, all right, how's it going, Beechwood? And it's some local radio personality from, KBCH or something like that. And everybody screams their excitement and this is all getting together. And he says, all right, well, just first of all, we have an opening band that a lot of you guys, if you don't know right now, you're going to want to know them. They are exciting. They are Beechwood's own, the slow breaking down of reality. We'll be bringing them out in just a moment. But first, we got a few words from some of the sponsors of this wonderful concert. As you guys know, The Prodigy is a major headliner. For them to be here at Beechwood, we're so over the moon here. KBCH, we're so lucky to have these guys at this venue. So some special words out to The Rail, as well as Bob's House of Bad Decisions. Both of them are big sponsors. Also to Red Bull and America Online. So if you guys didn't get any of the free merch that's outside, those booths are shutting down soon. Remember, if you've got a GA ticket, there is no re-entry. So hopefully you already gotten that. But hey, just keep in mind that if you are interested in having wings, Red Bull is the way to go, friends. And there's like some like booze and some excitement. It's like a mixed audience reaction, but he continues on. He says, well, with all of that out of the way, without further ado, as they might say, we're going to bring on the slow breaking down of reality. Let's give him a big hand. The openers from Prodigy. And the little bit of light spotlights kind of dim down. We see a bunch of lighters are already like starting to spark up, even though it's not that dark yet. And then all of a sudden you hear like a quick guitar lick. And as the band comes on, like they've already got their instruments, they were just staying slightly off stage, and it's a heavy punk kind of thing, like 90 second to 3 minute songs of just pure unadulterated energy. And sure enough, Brooke, as you know, but you hadn't let the others know, the lead singer for the slow breaking down of reality is none other than Mal, the boss at Goody, assistant manager. And she comes out and her hair is dyed like it's a semi-permanent, it's like, the temporary dye of like a bright green kind of Green Day kind of green there. And she comes out with her hair like spiked up, her normally pretty short hair. A lot of product there going on, but you got to do it for the crowds. And the song is it's a top 40 song. It's This Is Not a Top 40 song is the lead song, and it's enough to get people moving and dancing around. And Rolf, you see that the mosh pit is starting to form. It's near you, and sure enough, you spot and you see Damon is there. He's been watching your little area. He's kind of moving in, and he's really hoping to clash horns in a mosh pit with you. So
I'll gladly oblige.
Nice. So, mosh pit etiquette: don't stomp on someone who falls. Do actual punches. Elbows should not be going to the face. But yeah, there's a lot of mosh pit fun that you're about to have. So why don't we put this to a little bit of a roll, like a little bit of a hearty roll as it was for Rolf, because I think you're going to be alpha dogging it a little bit.
All right. I don't know. You think melee is appropriate? I think it might be kind of.
Sure. Let's see how that goes.
No skateboards. That's pushing it. Well, that's a lot of ones.
A lot of suck pool. Thank you for adding to the suck pool. That's what we're saying.
But also 2 5s, I guess.
But also 2 5s. So, a success with some escalations of the conflict. Wolf, you see your buddy Rolf as the mosh pit starting to form with this punk band playing. Just real quick, what's Wolf's reaction? Is he letting Rolf kind of be the tip of the spear? Are you hanging back? What are you doing?
I don't have the physical attributes that Rolf does, but I am a bit more canny about it, being a smaller guy. So I do get into the pit, but there's a lot of the duck weave, learning when people are going to come at me, and keeping an eye out for who to be close to. So could I do like Hardy and strategy?
Absolutely. Be strategic about your use of this. And hey, it turns out there's a die in the suck pool now. Thanks, Rolf.
You're welcome.
We'll resolve that escalation in just a minute. But yeah, go ahead. Let's see the die roll for.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna take the suck pool for just moshing.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. It's probably a good call.
I got a 1 and a 5. I don't know if the 5 helps me in this one.
Well, you're using strategy, so it does.
It does.
Yeah. So with a 1 and a 5, that means the same thing, right? Like you.
I would like to point out that with the old rules, we would have both been screwed.
Oh, we'd have been totally fucked.
The old rules, you had a 6. No, you did. You had 5s. You guys are totally screwed. So basically, what Jan's saying is, Jen, thank you for helping us to make it more to our liking. Not better, more to our liking. And we adore it. So yeah, there's another second die to the suck pool. As you guys are moderately successful by, you're not going to get pantsed. You're not even going to get super hurt. But just because I don't feel like I hand out a whole lot of stress, I do think that as the songs progress, I'm going to give each of you like just one stress. Just one. 11 dice, no 6s. Yeah, the stats are not kind to you, friends. But we'll give each of you a stress. If you want to move that to a condition, don't forget that will get you an advancement point at end of session, but I am curious what condition you think would be appropriate.
You know what? I'm just going to take the stress.
Okay.
For now.
Fair enough. So conditions are not fun.
I mean, if there was a condition called bruised, I would have taken it.
We could change that from broken to like bruised and broken. Bruised or broken. Fractured, I mean. Yeah.
I guess that's fair. I'll take fractured then.
All right. We'll call that fractured or bruised.
That's fine.
There we go.
I think that all this exertion, I am just dripping with sweat, and I'm taking smelly.
That's great. I love it. That's fantastic. Oh, I didn't hide the fun part. I should probably do that. Done. Brooke, Muffy is mostly like hovering near you, and when Wolf and Rolf take off, I think she feels just anonymous enough to where she's gonna try to make out with you, like in the middle of a concert, at a punk concert that seems like a very exciting, alluring thing, and also like a public thing that she's trying out. How does Brooke take that?
I mean, I think that Brooke's into it.
Nice. You'll grab some eyes. This is the 90s. That's definitely
Yep.
an ostentatious display that will get a few people's eyes. Not disapproving, at least not from people that are right up near the rails.
Right.
You get bumped a few times. There's a few times where you have to kind of pull back so you don't headbutt each other.
Right. Right. Like, I have my
Muffy's
hands on her shoulders, and it's not just for intimacy's sake.
And I think we see, what would be a good color for like excitement? We have blue, angry, blue, red, green, and purple. Purple being happy. So there's lots of purple in her hair, but I think there's like, do you think like white would be excitement, or what do we think might be a cool?
A couple of like white or like pale pinkish little spots flecking.
Yeah, like that. So flecks of pale pink streaks and the like. Rolf and Wolf are in the mosh pit, which is, ringed by people who are keeping everybody else safe, as it were. Nudging people back into the pit. So they're pretty well taken up with stuff. So Brooke, you're the first one to notice or recognize the parasol that you saw before at the mall. There was that real pale looking woman who was there with the person that chatted with Rolf briefly. You see that parasols now, like it comes moving through the crowd and just like 10 feet, aka like 4 people away from where you are, and then the parasol comes down. This is a little odd, but it was almost like watching a little bobbing, in like on the placid lake. Somebody has one of those little what's the
Right.
term for the little bobbing deal that you use so you can track where your line is. One of something akin to that.
Yeah, I'll like glance over and point out the parasol and be like, Muffy, stay away from the goths at this show. I think they're up to no good.
Okay, sure. No good how? They're at a concert. What are they going to do? Be sad?
Pickpocketing, dosing. I don't know. Like, don't take drinks from them. Don't shake
Okay.
hands with them. Like that kind of stuff. Like,
Don't shake hands? Like,
you know what I mean? I'm like, don't socialize with them.
okay.
Give them the hand.
Yeah, cool. Just say no. Got it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm sorry, I need to go to the bathroom. If you want to stay, you could stay. I can make my way back. What do you do?
I check on Wolf and Rolf really quick and see like how they're doing in the mosh pit. They seem to be having a good old time.
Wolf is very cleverly avoiding any problems. You do see he's pretty sweat soaked. The hair is down. I think that the hat is kind of like this. It was gray when he came in. Now it's like this really dark gray.
Yep. It's gone from granite to charcoal, so to speak.
Ooh, nice. It's nice. Humor. I like it.
Yeah. I'm like, hold on, I'll come with you just a sec. And I'll like wave down Wolf and try to let him know that we're going to the bathroom. And I'll like even gesture, I'll be like, I'll go with Muffy.
Nice. So as you and Muffy start slowly weaving your way through the crowds, picking spots, do you imagine that Brooke is like leading the way, or is Muffy the spawning upstream? Like this?
Who's bigger?
If like I'm pretty sure Brooke is a perfectly ordinary 5'6" ish.
They're about the same height then.
Yeah, they're about the same height. But if Muffy looks uncomfortable breaking the ice and forging ahead, I will take the lead.
Muffy would let you go first, but if there's ever a pause, that she's going to try to find a way to be like, no, I found a fissure. I will go here and I'll lead the way a little bit. Oh wait, now I'm stuck behind this big, sweaty fat guy. Now you go. But yeah, she's trying, but you're definitely much better at managing crowd darting. So Wolf, you're strategically staying at the right points, trying to pick your spots, enjoying the music, when someone kind of shoulder butts you in the back. And then when you glance around, you see it is the pigtail wearing Sylvia, and she smiles at you very toothily, and then she shoves you back because that's what they do at the pit, right? I'm pretty sure she has no idea what the rules are here.
As she shoves up against me, I do the kind of jump up shoulder bump, into her, and we kind of bang for a bit.
Nice. Rolf, Damon, how are you managing moshing with Damon here, who you're alpha dog, he wants to be alpha dog?
I'm probably like going to angle for like a low angle entry, so that's I get him off balance and I manage to get him over on the floor.
Nice. Oh, so you got your success. So yeah, you are able to manage to unseat him, much like two gladiatorial fighters, or perhaps at a joust of some kind. He's been unhorsed, as it were. He'll pop back up, and he gets
Yeah,
right in your.
I'll immediately
Okay,
give him
cool.
a hand.
All right, so you give him a hand back up, and that steals his ability to be super offended or haughty about that. He's got to be cool about it, right? There's an etiquette here. Brooke, you get near the bathrooms, and again, there are the actual established bathrooms, line, girls' bathroom, super long line. Then there are the porta potties, not as bad of a line. You get the feeling that Muffy is comfortable waiting, unless you talk to her otherwise. And you may miss like a third of this show, because it's a punk show. It ain't gonna last long.
Yep. And I do say, this is a punk show. Prodigy's got like 2 hits and 5 singles that they're guaranteed to play. They'll probably break out 3 deep cuts, so 10 songs at 3 minutes each means that we're probably looking at 45 minutes of show.
Are you asking me to? Are you asking me to go there? As he points over at the row of porta potties.
That's where I'm going, but you go where you're comfortable going.
Ooh, let's see how the roll goes. That is definitely a it's definitely a savvy roll. You've been pretty clever here. I think you need some empathy or math or something there. This is where I'm going. You make your call.
Look at me go. All right, 1-6, no ones.
What? Finally, after how many dice were you rolling? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. After 17 dice, we got a 6. Yay!
Oh, right?
1, 6, no ones. Didn't have to use the suck pool. Okay.
And I reach into my pocket and I hand her a couple of these little square pouches. And they're like thermometer wipes. They're like super generic. And I'm like, it's isopropyl alcohol. So if you want to give yourself a hand wash afterwards, you'll be good.
And she looks at you and says, I love your nerdy ass. And she will happily take these thermometer wipes like they are the Holy Grail. You guys go and stand in a brief line, and then you get to go into the blue plastic domicile that is a porta potty. Do your business and come back out before 2 songs have gone by. You see, maybe there's like one girl who had, some crazy purple outfit that was like your marker in the line at the actual legit women's restroom. She has moved 4 places forward in the time that you have been able to go and get done. And Muffy comes out just a moment later from you and does the like wiping the hands fastidiously, still feels a little ooky about it, has a look of I've gone through a horrendous experience, but I survived on her face. This is obviously her first porta potty. Not that that's a thing to brag about, but that's Buffy's life to this point.
And I just like pat her on the shoulder once my little alcohol wipe is dried out. I'm like, you have leveled up your concert skill.
That's a good thing. Leveling up.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Let's get them. I like these guys. They're really cool. Let's go get the CD single.
Okay. I know their singer.
Really?
Yeah,
That's awesome. We should.
let's buy their singles, and I'll hold on to them. Let's retcon a little bit and say that I brought my tote, but it was empty when we walked in, so that
Sure, that
water
makes sense.
bottles could go in it.
You're a plan aheader anyway, so yeah.
I'm a planner. And so I'm like, yeah, I'll just take them home with me, get them signed, and then you can have a signed copy of their single.
That's awesome. That's so awesome. So you guys go over, and the merch table, imagine they have like printed at home press on t-shirt type deals, where they had the little iron-ons that they did themselves, so they're selling those. They're like $12 a pop. The CD singles only $5. And she's like, do you want a t-shirt or should just the CDs?
What does the t-shirt look like?
Oh, what does the t-shirt look like? I think that the t-shirt is like a first draft. It's not incredibly inspired. It's the, oh God, we're actually opening for Prodigy. We need more merch. Here, make this. So I think it's a thing where they have created the iron-on with some kind of graphic program on Windows 95 and then printed it out on a special paper to iron on. So it's probably a little Green Day, except they had to squeeze all the words in because they have an unfortunately really long name, the slow breaking down of reality. So yeah, it's all so much squinched in of big bubble letters that it's kind of sort of unreadable. It's mostly just their band name in a Green Day-ish font. It's not great.
And I like shake my head. I'm like, not yet. Maybe next show.
Cool. Yeah. Okay, awesome. And then she drops $10 and gets a pair of CD singles. You toss it in the tote. And as we cut back to the mosh pit, Rolf, you've managed Damon. The two of you have got like this weird Pax Arcana going on, and maybe you're moving together. It's a little bit more friendly when
just bouncing off of each other every now and then.
yeah, you got more important things to do, and evidently there's no beef here, at least not tonight. You solved that. The hand up was enough. And that's when you see the guy that you saw at the mall before, really handsome guy, real pale skin, the one who's challenged you to his buddy has asked you to participate in his skateboard tournament, and he comes up and he's wearing like this sleek like a button-up shirt, and he like removes that, and now he's shirtless, and he like steps into the mosh pit. What do you do?
I mean, make him feel included.
Nice. So, how is any particular? What's the approach?
I mean, as I get pushed like past him, I'll probably just give him a little push inward. So
nice. So you give a little push inward, and you realize he's not sweaty at all. Like, not at all.
Well, he just got started. It's fine.
Yeah, he hasn't even really gotten into it, obviously. And your shoulder hits him, and he's a little cool to the touch. This is a guy who's he's cool as a cucumber. And he smiles when he's, yes! And he will try to shove you back. And when he does, he's really, like, he did not even plant his feet, but his strength is considerable. As he shoves you back and kind of slide along the dirt a little bit, and he grins. And when he grins a little wider than before, and you can swear his canines just seem a little more pronounced.
Yes. There's still like a ooh crap. Like, okay, well, let's keep this going, I guess. There's nothing he can do now.
Nice. And Damon moves in on him and comes in aggressive, like, oh, we've got a new guy to target. And he comes in hard. Like, he just throws a shoulder hard into this skateboard king, self-proclaimed. He slides off of Damon and just kind of shoves him back, and Damon stumbles and slams into the ground. And he smiles again and dances around. A few people start bunny. You start to lose him in the crowd. So once you've gotten your CD singles, Brooke, Muffy's eager to try to get back to the concert. She's like you said, it's a punk. We only have, it's like the math. I can't remember. We have to hurry though.
Yeah.
Cool. So you're trying to pick your spot back, and you are weaving and giving that wide berth to the mosh pit when you spot that woman, the woman with the parasol. And she is currently like not talking, but has the attention of none other than Phil Dimitri Rodriguez, your coworker. And he's just totally enamored with this girl who's probably in her 20s. Like, she looks like maybe she's in her 20s. Real long black hair, kind of stuff that like comes down to her butt, kind of really, really long curly black hair. And she has a delicate hand on his shoulder. And with everybody kind of teaming around them, the two of them are not dancing or moving or anything. It's like she's entranced him by talking to him or making eye contact or something. And then she moves in. You think, oh, are they gonna like make out? But then she just moves into like his neck.
Yeah, I'm gonna Pratt walk into this one and like
Pratt walk? I don't know that term. What is that?
it's like Pratt falling, except you don't fall, probably. We hope. So like Brooke will bounce over energetically as though she's revved up by the concert and like pounce her hands on Dimitri's shoulders and be like, dude, we've got a spot near the front.
Nice. Sweet. So you interrupt that oddly intimate moment in the middle of the punk concert. And it's successful, right? Like, it's a thing where you break into that, and she looks at you and scowls for just a moment, and Phil kind of, whoa, hey, Brooke, man, this is great, right? And
Yeah.
he's not wearing earplugs, so he's like scream talking at you. He says, this is Claudette. And Claudette just gives you the like, I hate you nod.
Got a spot up front, dude. Come on.
And he's torn. So let us see if you can succeed with a savvy roll to corral him away from this woman who is going to give him a hickey or something.
Something? Well, I feel like this is just going to be a straight roll. I'm going to take a die from the suck pool. Oh. Well, 1, 5, 5, and 7.
So the 7 is effectively a 6. It looks like you just went straight with savvy. So those 5
because
still
I
help you.
don't
with the
know if
7.
this was.
Yeah, I agree. I don't
Would
know
this
if
be?
you're.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like an empathy thing. It seems like a tricking somebody thing.
Yeah, seems like a tricking thing. That's okay though. You got that 1/6. That's good, and you've replenished the suck pool, which is great. So yeah, Phil says, "Yeah, that's awesome," and he grabs Claudette's hand to pull her along.
Damn it.
So you have stopped her from this current hickey-giving attempt, but you haven't removed the threat. We cut to Wolf. You've been kind of moshing, and Sylvia's just hovering near you. And as the two of you are dancing, you know where to move, where to find the right rhythm, who's about to break out, when people are parting from the crowd to like come rushing in because they've gotten so excited they're going to do something stupid in the mosh pit. Sylvia doesn't. And so she's mostly just watching your cues, and you catch over her shoulder that there's a guy who's just bum rushing through and coming in. It's like he thinks he's in the middle of a fucking football game or something. And he's about to clobber her without realizing it. What do you do?
I'm going to kind of like reach out and grab her hands and just pulling back and trusting the crowd on the circle. I'm gonna just throw us back to the crowd.
Oh, so you're gonna try to duck out of the mosh pit, yanking her out of the mosh pit. That sounds awesome.
Just, flinging myself back, which if they move on the circle, we will probably fall. But I'm hoping they'll do the kind of push support.
Sweet. So of course, default movement, I would think hardy. Were you leaning towards a different attribute that you were trying to utilize here?
Maybe I could work brainy. That I am thinking of.
I was thinking maybe you could talk me into brainy. So yeah,
because this is more just using my full body weight than rather being strong enough to yank her.
Okay. And what talent were you hoping to apply?
Yeah, I mean, might be deduction. I'm figuring that the circle will protect us.
We don't get to use deduction enough anyway, so I think you've talked me into it. You're rolling a total of 5 dice. You want to burn any suck pool to convert one to a D8?
Yeah, right now 2. I really don't want her to get hurt, so yes, I will convert one. And that will give me 4 and an 8. Is that right?
Yes.
Right. Well, I got a 1 and 2 5s.
Okay. Well, the 5s mean that you are successful of extricating her from getting bowled over. But I think it's like you said, right? I think the situation gets worse is that the crowd kind of swallows you guys up. Yeah. So you end up getting separated from Sylvia. She didn't get run over, but you were able to make sure she didn't get made sure she didn't get hurt. But now you're out of the mosh pit. Rolf is on his own. Not that you'd be super worried about Rolf. But that moment, as you're kind of glancing around to see where it was that Sylvia ends up, you see Broke and Muffy have returned. You recognize Phil's with them, and Parasol Girl is with Phil now, and they're moving their way back towards the front, which is not that far from the mosh pit.
And do I see Skate Vamp over there with Rolf?
Yeah, now that you've got a breath to kind of surveil the situation, you see Skate Punk. Do you remember his name was Lance, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I should have stuck it in the NPCs and didn't. So.
Skeet Pyre. And do I see Sylvia in there, or has she gotten separated from my eyesight too?
She's not back in the mosh pit. She's short enough to where she is it's a little hard to pick out, but you see her pigtails, and she's trying to fight her way back to the mosh pit, thinking, oh yeah, I got to get back in on that. Not realizing you may or may not be going back.
Okay. I'm going to try and move back towards her.
Okay.
Back into the pit. But the overall purpose is to get her and begin trying to move the two of us over towards where Rolf is.
I think that's going to be pretty easy. I don't imagine that being a challenge thing. So you slip back into the mosh pit and meet up with Sophie. You're like, oh yeah. And you can see that she's sweating a little bit. Her smile's wide. She's got those braces, right? From the picture.
You having fun?
This is good. Yeah, it's like Wrestling, but not. Are you having fun?
And I'll kind of look at her and I'll like take her hand a second and say, yeah, I am.
Why are you wearing an earplugs? You look like a dork.
She's right. I'm going to take him out.
Love it. Sweet. So you like pull out, were those like actual earplugs, like the styrofoamy things or the wax things that you just got to push in your ear? What were the earplugs?
They're styrofoam because that's what Brooke can afford.
Yeah, totally makes sense. Yeah, it totally makes sense. Sweet. So
Probably just like raw ass cylinders. Right.
Raw cylinder foamy deals. They end up on the mosh pit getting tromped under some guy's jack boots there. And Wolf, you make your way over to Rolf, and Rolf and Damon are moshing, dealing with Lance, the Skater King, as he's proclaimed himself. What do you do, Wolf, once you get your way up to Rolf?
I'm going to kind of, I've kind of pulled Sylvia with me, and since Damien's there, I'm going to at least sort of try and maneuver where she's between me and Damon, handing off a little bit of responsibility to make sure she's okay is in
Nice.
my mind.
You actually have a moment where you like check in, you see Damon, he makes the connection, like, yep, yeah, I got this.
And is Lance, is he right up on Rolf? Are they talking still?
I don't know. Are they, Rolf?
I don't think there was any words exchanged, really.
Yeah, I don't think there have been words exchanged yet. Just smiles.
Okay. Then I'll get, because Rolf's a lot taller than me. So I think I probably get a shoulder up under your armpit and kind of do a lift to grab your attention and direct your eyes over to Brooke and Miss Parasol and all that going on.
Uh-huh. And then he's just still jumping around and like, uh-huh.
Rolf does not make the connection.
Then I'll kind of stick close to this little foursome we've got going on here, but keeping an eye out over there to make sure Brooke and Muffy are okay. And really have gone into more defensive mode than bouncing myself. It's more of watching out for people beating the shit out of me sort of thing.
Sweet. So as you guys are doing this, the song that is currently playing is Goody Got It, but the punk version of Goody Got It, which just kind of rewrites some of the totally different verses, but the chorus is just a very punk driving, screaming Goody Got It, Goody Got It, Goody Got It.
I'm into it.
Mel, I think Mel maybe glances over your way after she delivers one of the chorus scream fests, and Muffy and you are able to settle in. You actually end up getting right up against the gate, which means that there's just a little bit of press against you guys, but nobody's killing you yet. It's not where you're getting any rib problems or anything like that. But
right.
It's pretty exciting. It's enough to where the security guard is make eye contact with you guys once or twice. And Muffy's super excited by this. And I think you get the feeling that this may be one of the last songs by the slow breaking down of reality. Anything that you want to do while you have this space right here at the front? Anything you want to make sure that Muffy gets a chance to experience, or something you want to do for yourself, bro?
Nah, not quite. I warned her that if she goes over the other side of the barrier, the security guys will tackle her.
Oh wow, no. Yeah, no.
That's what they do. That's their whole job.
Wow. They're big too. Mullets aplenty in the security guard group here up by the gate. Number of mullets.
Party in the back.
Party in the back.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
All business up front though.
Yep.
Cool. So Goody Gotta is the last song of the slow breaking down of reality, which I think the spitter is maybe what they're trying to call themselves out, which is like an acronym word that you're trying to. It's not. Yeah. It's not perfect. Brooke, you're aware, but just to make clear, the slow breaking down of reality and Gravel Dance are two completely different bands, and Mal seems to be singing for both of them. They did not rename themselves. These are new blokes. Different blokes.
Yep.
And either Mal is trying to be an assistant manager at Goodies and participate in two bands, or she's migrated from Gravel Dance to slow breaking down of reality.
Yep.
That said, this band is at the Prodigy concert. Gravel Dance is not.
Nope.
They played at a place where Fluke Man was.
That's some after concert chat.
Yep, it absolutely is. I just wanted to highlight it for everyone. Just hang a little marker on that one. Cool.
Delightful.
So they come to an end. The music, like the last ring, and the lead guitarist is just super into it. So he like starts smashing his guitar, and people roar at that. And he's going to be paying for it for, a good 6 months. But that thrill of having thousands of people's frenetic attention is probably the story he gets from that will last longer than the OT has to work at the garbage place. And then a few house lights come up, and the mosh pit dies a quick death as house music comes on, and it's a little too top 40s to mosh to. And there's just like a collective sigh of that pent up energy and everything kind of just snapping off there. Rolf, you're right there by Damon and Lance. Wolf, you're there. You no longer have to be
definitely high five Damon. Like
nice. Yeah. He's like, we leveled up.
Yeah, we did.
You guys don't have fucking levels. Damon says.
I'll lean into Sylvia as it gets quieter second and just, kind of in close. You didn't have to get me my book, but I really do appreciate it.
It didn't seem right.
You're pretty cool.
Thanks. I mean,
We should hang sometime.
well, I'm not going to play a fucking game.
I do other shit.
Like what?
I could get you in the movies.
Well, that's kind of cool.
We should see a movie.
Okay.
Cool. I'll call you.
You don't have my number. Can't do that.
Then I guess you need to give me your number, right?
Well, right. That makes sense. I don't have
And
a pen.
I'll rip a Sharpie out of my... I have
Nice!
like multiple pockets pants with the straps hanging down from them.
Yes.
This is my go-to-concert pants.
Your concert pants are great. Those are
I'll
great.
rip out a Sharpie and pull up my sleeve, my flannel on my arm, and hand her the Sharpie so she can write it on my very skinny, pale white arm.
I love it. I think the thing where she like takes hold of your elbow and you realize she might be stronger than you.
Oh, I'm sure she's stronger than me.
She doesn't try to like grip you or show off, which makes it all the more impressive. Like it's just a casual strength that she has. But she'll hold your arm a little bit and then she kind of leans in maybe like leans into you a little more than she would necessarily need to. But she laughs for herself. She's like, "You are so fucking sweaty," but she's still writing her number, scrawling her number on your arm. And yeah, you now have the number of Sylvia. Of our mini Sylvias, this would be the Sylvia Ellinger. They're probably the one that you do want to go on a date with. Whereas Sylvia Brown, maybe less so. That's a small date that maybe you don't want to make. And Lance looks at you, Rolf, and he says, "Hey, this was good."
Yeah. You're weird, but good.
You move well. I'm looking forward to seeing you at the skateboard park. You're coming, right? You're not gonna get too high and not be able to perform.
No, I'm fine. I mean, I'm sure you'll do better when the sun's not out.
What does that mean? He asks with a smile.
You know what it means.
Interesting. Interesting. You're a pretty smart kid, Rolf.
Not really.
Nice. So Brooke, Muffy, she's still like a little short of breath from all the excitement. She kind of reaches down to pull the little earbuds out, but she keeps them in her hand. She's definitely going to put them back in. She says, "With that, they're pretty good."
Yeah. I guess you don't just get an opener for Prodigy because you're local. That was cool.
And she'll lean in and say, I recognize Phil. Who's the girl? The two of them are like chatting intimately now as people are starting to head out for bathrooms and concession stand and stuff.
She's some out of towner. I think she rolled in with this skater guy. I know. After this concert, there's going to be this skating contest that Rolf's in.
Good for Rolf. He'll probably do well. He's good at that stuff.
Yeah, he's got moves. But yeah, like this guy who is challenging our locals to a skate off, I guess, just has this whole posse of weird goths.
Huh.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't really want this girl to clamp down on Phil.
How do you? Is that Jen saying that Brooke doesn't want that, or is Brooke saying that to Muffy?
It's Brooke saying that to Muffy.
Muffy will say, "What if he's into it? Should we be judgy?"
I just don't want him to get his heart broken when, she immediately turns around and leaves town.
I mean, that makes sense, but maybe we should just be kissing.
And then Brooke failed a willpower check.
Sweet as Muffy with her purple and pink slider hair with a little bit of color of desire will slide in to kiss you at the same time, just like shoulders against each other. Phil is now kissing Parasol Girl, who we introduced you as Claudette. But then she quickly moves to kiss his cheek and his earlobe and moving her way towards his neck. And by the time that you recapture your wherewithals, you see that, yeah, sure enough, A-frame shirt wearing Phil Rodriguez to show off his cool delts. Unfortunately, it's easy access for someone to bite his neck, which it appears Claudette is doing. to anyone further away, it looks like she's just decided to give the guy a hickey. But you're pretty sure you hear amid the music piped in over the loudspeakers a soft sucking sound.
So I think I'm going to accidentally on purpose stomp on one of her feet.
That sounds lovely.
I feel like that's a hardy plus sneak.
I think so. Let's see if you can. I don't know how much sneaking's going on here. You're stomping on her foot. But if you're trying to play it off as
Right.
this is totally an accident, then I can see a little bit of sneak. Is this some suck pool? Did I see the suck pool go down there?
I think somebody else used the suck pool
Okay.
for something.
All right. I thought I
Yeah.
saw it go from 2 to 1, and I thought, oh wow, she's gonna suck pool attack.
That's 5 dice.
Yep.
Just roll it. Hey.
Wow,
This
2
is a
sixes.
5 and a 1.
So don't forget, with 2 natural 6s, that's an extraordinary success. You have a few choices you can make based on the rules. You can do so good that you did great, which means you get a boost. You can take over the authority and narrate what happens here. You can also erase one stress, or you can just say, you know what, I'll take an extra advancement point at the end of the game.
I think I'll take the extra good.
Oh, the extra. Oh.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. I feel pretty happy with the amount of XP that I've gotten.
Okay. Your advancement points are good.
Development. Yeah.
All right. So then you're going with the extra good. By the way, when you Google XP horse for a picture of a horse with XPs on it, unfortunately you get a Troy built lawnmower. I just thought I would look that up and tell you the answer to that. It's sad. At some point, I need to commission Alex to draw an XP horse because
I think he already made that.
I did a long time ago. I just don't have it.
Yeah.
But yes, I do remember that there was that joke. Alex doesn't remember it. Maybe I should go back and chat, like Google the chat and at some point find it. That's for later, Rich. Let's stay to the now. You stomp on her foot and she draws back, mouth full of blood on her teeth and everything, and looks around hissing angrily. But you have a lot of success in breaking off that, which the success means that Phil sees his blood in her mouth, and things get worse because he's gonna freak out and run away. He kind of pushes her back, not like I want to hurt you, or like you just bit me, I need to get out of here. And he is just gonna like holding on to his neck as Tyler had demonstrated perfectly, and just shoulder down, make my way for the bathroom. It's the boys' bathroom, so he won't have to wait nearly as long. And then he can like wash and attend to his wound. He may go looking for a first aid station because you see now it's starting to bleed a little bit through his fingers and the like. And yeah, Claudette.
That shirt's toast.
Yeah, the shirt's toast. It's not even like a good memento. It's just toast. And Claudette, again, you were successful enough to where she didn't notice your stealthy attack, but someone's pissed her off at this concert. And she swallows it back and licks her teeth, and you see there's like this pinkish film on her teeth. And she glowers at you and Muffy and hefts her parasol. So many rude people who are here.
And I'm just like, oh, she speaks. What's up, Claudette?
Brooke. And Muffy says, is that the whole conversation?
I think that's the whole conversation. I think she's done.
She's not very eloquent. And
Did
Claudette.
somebody? Doesn't look like anybody like elbowed her in the nose or anything.
Claudette just wipes at the corners of her mouth. She turns and she'll try to walk away from you. Probably going to hunt someone else. If you don't do something, what do you do?
I look in my bag. There's probably like what, 3 bottles of water left in it. Yeah, probably like that. I'm like, hmm. This is Jen being like, how dumb is it if I try to make holy water?
That's crazy.
I'm like, I take out a Sharpie. I draw a little cross on the cap. And I'm like, gosh, what did I learn in Sunday school? Spectacles, testicles, brandy, cigars. No, that is not it.
Hey, so Brooke, like, what's going on? Are you okay? You seem like you're doing some math in your head or something.
Oh, I'm trying to remember, like the in spiritus sanctus. What's some other Jesus stuff that they say at church?
She'll. Jesus wept. Sorry, I got a Snickers for memorizing a Bible verse, and that's the shortest one. So.
Okay, cool. Well, let's see. And I like write a couple of other things that I think of on the bottle, and I like hold it, and I'm just like, okay, God, we don't talk very much. But I get the idea that you don't like vampires. Neither do I.
Wait, what? Did you say vampires?
I mean, yes, and I will explain later if this works.
Okay.
And then I'll like unscrew the cap and just huck it at her.
Okay.
And just like try to get the spinning.
Okay, this is pretty insane. I mean, I'm into it, but wow.
Yep. This is
desperate times.
This is Brooke really long shotting it.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm gonna say that you're gonna need that extra good action to vanquish this vampire. But let's you chuck some dice here, some virtual dice. This is
All right, cool. I don't know if this is a create or a guts.
I'd go with create. They're trying to create some kind of holy water.
Cool.
That seems appropriate.
Okay, I feel like this is. Let's do it create and hardy because I still got to check it.
Yeah, makes sense. So 5 dice. You spending any that last suck pool there? Or you're gonna keep that for someone else.
This is important.
It is important.
I'm gonna take that last suck pool die. Sorry, guys. Maybe there will be more suck for your vampire skate showdown, but I'm not seeing any objections there. Hey,
that was a good
1-6,
roll.
no ones.
The suck pull die didn't help you at all, but you rolled a nat 6. But you're the one who's rolling all the 6s. Has anyone else rolled a 6? I think it's just Brooke. Yep. all sixes rolled by Brooke this game. That's hilarious. Unfortunately, though, I did say you need an extraordinary success. So you do chuck her in the back of the head, but God does not smile favorably upon your hastily called upon assistance. So it thwacks her in the back of the head. She looks around, realizes, yeah, evidently this is not going to be the easy prey hunting ground that I had suspected, and she's going to make her way back to the hearse.
Yeah, like I practically immediately bounce on Buffy's cover. And when I see that she's going away, I'm like, oh, thank God. Oh, phew. All right, that didn't work, but we're not fucked. It's so good.
So vampires?
So I'm pretty sure that the people in the hearse and Skate Lord Master and Claudette are vampires. She was biting Phil earlier.
Okay. So they probably think they're vampires. I saw this on Oprah once.
Yeah, you can get a lot of diseases that way. It's not cool.
Seriously. You probably saved
Not a good
Phil's
scene.
life. He owes you big time.
Yeah, like I have fun pretending to be a vampire in a role-playing game, but this is different. I'm never going to cut somebody's neck and lick at it. It's just gross.
It's pretty unhygienic and, yeah, gross. So, hey, do you
Yeah.
actually, like, legit pretend to be a vampire in that thing that you play with Wolf?
So what's the difference between pretend and legit pretend?
Okay, that's a good point. You guys are really just pretending to be vampires in that game?
I mean, it's more about the story, right? Everybody takes on the role of a character. They talk about what their character is doing. And Wolf sort of makes the world around them alive, right? And controls all the characters that aren't our characters.
You wear, like, fake teeth and stuff?
No, man, those are expensive. That's LARPing. That's different.
LARPing?
Live action role playing. That's where you're really more legit pretending. We're just sitting around a table rolling dice and saying what happens.
Oh.
Yeah,
And that's fun?
it's kind of like acting without most of the acting.
I was in a school play. It was a long time ago, though.
Kind of fun. What play was it?
So it was Charlie Brown's Christmas special. They like made it into a play, and
That's so cute.
yeah, it was Lucy. I was really mean back then.
Cute though.
I mean, I was technically typecast because I was really mean back then, but I'm better now,
Not really
right?
fair. You are making tremendous improvement.
Good.
And I like, sort of tweak her chin and the top of her shirt a little bit.
Sweet. She takes that compliment as you meant it. We'll swing away back to Wolf and Rolf. Wolf, you've just gotten a phone number, and Rolf, you chatted with Lance, and Lance is like, "So good, you'll be there then. I'm gonna gather my flock. We're going to go find some
Flock. Okay.
my gang, my friends. What term would you prefer me use?
I don't know what you guys use.
My brood." He flashes that too.
Damn, you're so on the nose.
He says, "I'll have you know, most of my kind don't even know what a skateboard is.
No, you're all cool and hip and new, man. Awesome.
Thank you. Not that I need your approval, but it'll feel better when I defeat you.
We'll see. We'll see, Hotshot.
Oh, this is the banter I crave. This.
Just show your tricks, and we'll see.
He'll reach up and kind of grips your shoulder. I shall see you at the skate park, Rolf.
Yeah, that was the point. Yeah.
I want to say it one more time to savor it. He'll turn and dramatically start to walk out. And all of a sudden, his Texan friend is like handing him the shirt that he peeled off, and he like slides it back on because he's perfectly dry, right? There's only like one little bit of sweat from the shoulder bump he gave you, and that's your sweat. So, yeah. Wolf, you noticed a little bit of that tete-a-tete between Rolf and Lance. But then Lance is leaving Rolf alone. Damon kind of pulls Sylvia over to chat with her real quick. They're talking about something. What do you do, Wolf?
I'll move over to Rolf. What was up with Tall, Pale, and Handsome?
He was being way too vampire for his own good.
Well,
I mean, dudes are not even hiding it.
Really? So he came out and said he was a vamp?
I made a joke about it, and he just was like, "Oh, you're very smart." There was almost a Transylvanian accent, man.
Huh. I mean, we can't. We sort of handle monsters.
Well, I'm gonna have to skate him first.
Well, obviously. But, are we gonna... Is this are we gonna have to actually vampire hunt?
I don't know. Maybe we can do a thing where it's like, if I win, then you leave this town. I don't know.
You cool with them just leaving town? Well,
maybe we should prepare a bit.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh, by the way, I got Sylvia's digits.
Sweet.
Yeah, kind of sweet.
High five.
I leap up to high five you.
Nice. The leaping high five to me is quite fun.
I guess we definitely need to talk to the crew before the skate thing then and be ready. I'm a little worried if you beat him, they're gonna out on us and oh, the champion will give his blood, blah blah.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll make sure we'll make some steaks or something, and I don't know.
Let's say we'll make some steaks or something is right the moment when Brooke and Muffy kind of integrate into the conversation. So it's like a bit of a group chat there. Steaks? I love grilling. It's awesome.
Yeah, grilling steaks. That's what we're gonna do after the concert.
Lance was here hanging with Rolf.
Huh?
Kinda dad him.
Really?
The dude's a bit into it, I think. Also, he's tough.
Oh, damn. Yeah, this goth chick named Claudette bit Phil
Oh fuck!
Yeah,
Like bit.
like Bit.
There's blood and everything. Super gross.
Yeah, I think they're for real.
They fed in the middle of a concert.
I scared her off, but
Dudes, the hearse, that was them.
Fuck! And I thought the hearse was so cool.
And now it's a lot less cool, actually.
yeah.
We need to be prepared going to the skate thing. Then.
Don't they have like, and like, I don't know, but like, don't they have like masquerade shits going on or something? Like, don't they have to? Oh man.
I mean, I can't say for sure that's like. I mean, that could be fiction.
Yeah.
But you'd think that you wouldn't want your, well, like your blood drinking out in front of everybody.
I mean, people who think they're vampires have been on Oprah.
Right.
Huh.
I saw it like 3 episodes. I mean, they reran the first one a few times because it was nearly as like popular as the credit card debt one.
I got a feeling that most of them have to blade. You know how hard it is to actually bite someone enough to draw blood?
Yeah, you need sharp ass teeth, man.
I literally have no idea how sharp your teeth would need to be for that.
Really sharp.
Like knives.
I accept that.
Also, dude's kind of scrawny and pasty, and he just walked through the pit like it was nothing.
Okay, so we know they're strong and tough.
Uh-huh.
That checks boxes.
Maybe they're different. Maybe they're different clans.
You know that they could be out in sunlight.
Yeah.
Right.
Rich, they are definitely gothy.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
I note like crosses on any of their craft or
You did not see any crosses on them, no.
okay. Goth but no crosses.
Maybe.
I mean, I tried to fake out some holy water, but I've never done it before, and I don't think it worked. So,
I'm not sure you. I mean, don't you need a priest to make holy water?
oh shit, that's what. Okay,
Silver, maybe.
I don't know any priests.
Well,
Like blades.
You just got to go to the church. They keep it in like a bowl at the door.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, yeah, I saw that on Lost Boys.
Yeah. God,
But-
such a great documentary.
So
And he kind of grins at her a little.
do we like fill up a super soaker and?
That's not a bad idea. And I mean, let's be honest. A stake to the heart's gonna work whether they're vampires or not.
Yeah, but
That maybe means that stakes should be out of the question.
Certainly
Last
last resort. There. And I'll kind of elbow Rolf to me and you.
Yeah.
I like
I mean,
super
if we're okay
soaker
with
of
them-
holy water.
Yeah. If we're okay with them just leaving town, we just make it a scene thing.
Is
Punks and goths don't mix.
do we feel okay? I mean, they're just gonna go off somewhere else and vamp.
let's get some information out of them if we're gonna see them tonight anyway. Like, try and get what their deal is.
Yeah.
I assume like if they're biting people at a concert that they're not like we're not gonna drink till someone died, because that definitely gets way too much attention.
Go check out the hearse.
Ooh, but Prodigy is on in like half an hour, man.
If we take more than half an hour to check out the hearse, we fucked up real bad.
But spots.
We'll be able to work our way back to the pit. There's always a way back to the pit.
Yes.
I mean, like, I'll stick around and save our spots if you need me to, Brooke.
And I'm like clearly not okay with leaving her alone near the front.
She doesn't pick that up at all.
I'll look
And I,
over
like,
there. Is
look at the
Damon and
guys.
Sylvia still close enough by us?
They're close enough to where you can get their attention. They appear to have gathered together with the rest of the D&D group, and Zachary's holding court.
I could ask Sylvia to like keep an eye on her. And I kind of pull my sleeve up. She gave me her number.
Cool, okay.
She's pretty badass.
We know that. Oh, okay.
Well,
Cool.
Last time she punched your nose in, so we knew that.
Yeah.
I don't want Muffy stuck alone.
Same. Yeah, Muffy, we're not going to leave you here by yourself. If Wolf's buddy Sylvia is cool hanging out with you and making sure that nobody gives you any guff, cool. Otherwise, like, come with us. Shenanigans, it's fun.
I mean, I'll come. I was just offering because you guys seemed worried about your spot. And by you guys, I mean mostly Rolf.
I mean, I care about the spot too, but this is my civic duty.
It could be dangerous.
I know. Go ask Sylvia. Yeah, we'll see.
Cool. And I'll kind of get to the periphery of their space and kind of try and catch Sylvia's eye and do a little.
Yeah, and there's a thing where Sylvia sees you and she starts to extricate herself, and Zachary says, "Are you going somewhere, Sylvia, darling? Do you wish to speak with Kyle? Kyle, come. Whatever you have to say to Sylvia, you may say for the group."
I sort of laugh in his direction and then ignore him completely to turn to her and say, we're like hitting outside to the bathrooms. Our friend Muffy, you know her from school?
Sylvia says, "Yeah, the bitch."
Yeah, kind of. Would you do me a favor and just keep an eye on her? She's going to hold her spots. Just make sure nobody, like, fucks with her. I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks. Thanks, Zach. And I'll turn around and walk off.
Nice. Zachary just lets that go, but you have a feeling, yeah, he's gonna use that to his advantage at some point.
Try and be awful, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I come back up. Muffy and the lamos will probably keep an eye on her pretty good.
I'll just check in with Muffy and be like, are you cool holding the spot? Sylvia will watch your back. Zachary will
Good.
be really weird.
Yeah, I mean, this is all known.
Yeah, you can deal with Zach.
Right. I'm good.
Cool. Okay.
I've got this. The spot's cool. You guys can go do your vampire game stuff. It's cool.
I duck in and give her a kiss on the cheek.
Okay, now it's really actually legit cool.
Okay.
And yeah, you extricate yourself from Muffy. Sylvia is keeping an eye on her. But again, everybody's kind of broken off into clusters. House music's playing over the loudspeakers. And you guys where are you headed?
The hearse.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you make your way towards the hearse. Now, remember what it was that the radio DJ had announced that your GA tickets, there's no re-entry. So the hearse is parked outside. You'll have to go through the gates or find some other way to get out. You can just walk through the gates, no problem, right? You'll have to find some other way to get back into the show is the potential problem that you have. One other way is buy new tickets, right? General admission. It's a sold-out show, but they're still going to sell you tickets because Beechwood needs some money. So you guys walk right through the area where they check everybody, and one of the security guards, the one that told you, Rolf, just be cool, man. He's like, hey, no re-entry, guys. There's no re-entry. Prodigy's going to be playing in 5.
Look, man, we have got to go out. My friend needs her insulin. We've got to just
like,
grab
you gotta
it.
go. That's cool, but you can't get back in.
You're telling me you can't give us a stamp just to? I mean, this is like a medical emergency. Are you standing in the way? No. Well, hey, how about we left our IDs?
Ooh, that's a pretty decent offer. Let's put it to a roll. Is he cool? Or is he a D-bag? You're pretty savvy. I think you might pull this off.
I'm stinky, but still savvy.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll do my best to look sad and limp.
And
You're helping?
I'm helping.
I'm also helping, but just by holding out my driver's license already, like ready to give it up if you want me to give it.
He looks at yours and he's like, is this real? For Rolf.
All right, so...
Has anybody taken my community die yet?
No, you have not used it. No one has used it on me.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's out there.
Just out there.
Okay, so that'll give me +1.
The rules and stuff. So you're a stoner. He's security.
He is security.
Oh, good call. Thank you for pointing that out.
Yep.
So those
It's like,
will
it's a good thing I'm not doing this. I'm like, oh, wait. Yeah, Wolf is also a stoner.
So that offsets. That takes, I'm at 4. Can I pull in leadership?
Yeah, I think you're definitely kind of stepping to the fore and leading the team on this brave mission.
All right. So that'll give me 5 die. Oh, and a help. So 6 die. All right. We have no suck. Roll it.
Hey.
Hey, I got a 5 and no 1s.
Wow. That is cool. 5 and no 1s is just enough to skate by. He takes all of your IDs. He says, listen, don't go and tell anyone else about this.
Mum's word, buddy. And
But you got a friend with insulin. My daughter, she's got same kind of deal. Go get the hell back here, all right?
bless you, buddy. Thanks.
Well, hurry, man. Thanks.
All right. He pretends that this conversation didn't take place, or at least to any other security guards and the like. You found the one security guard with a heart of gold, or maybe just like one moment where he's cool. So you head out, and sure enough, the hearse is there. It's idling. It is completely like you cannot see in the windows at all. So it could be completely empty. It could be filled with people. You're not sure. What is it that you wish to do?
Is front windshield at least? Can we see if there's anyone in the two drivers?
Nope.
Even
no front
windshield.
Like, yes, they are so illegal.
Wow.
So illegal. Yeah, it's super. It's the 90s. So it's before they super cracked down. And again, like I imagine there's kind of a like the main path comes up and then it kind of T sections out that ruddy road, the like, and it's pulled off to the side just a little bit to where they could easily hear the music and all that good stuff. But the engine is on. What is it that you wish to do?
All right. Brooke, you're probably the stealthiest of us all. Want to go up and see if you can get a listen?
Yeah, okay.
We could try and cause a little distraction if you want.
Okay.
All right, Rolf. How about me and you up front, and we spark up in front of the hearse?
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
I like dip by a one of the trash bins, not the one right after the Red Bull stand, right?
Yeah, that would be a bad one.
And like I'll steal a plastic water cup.
Okay.
And then I'll wander towards the hearse and sort of gesture to Wolf and Rolf about, the area where they should probably wander to start their distraction.
Okay.
I guess we head over and, kind of that,
Bump into each other.
yeah, being pretty obvious being there, and I'm sure they've seen us before, so we might attract their attention in particular. And then the flare of a lighter might catch them as well, my Zippo.
Okay. Cool.
Yep.
But you guys are effectively helping Brooks roll,
Yep.
right? I like it.
Yeah.
I like the setup for that. Rolf, it's likely if this hearse is attached to Lance and the others that they know you more than any of the others. So yeah, you're a good decoy. So that'll give Brooke another die.
Yeah. Cool. And then I'll sort of wander past the hearse like I'm admiring things, and then when they go by, I'll like duck down underneath the windows and cup it near the back.
Okay. Cool. Sweet. So let's get a roll going because you guys worked so hard to make this happen. Let's see how.
Yes. All right. So this is clearly sneak and
Make savvy.
savvy. Okay. Cool. And +1 from help.
Not savvy. Sorry, brainy. Be smart.
Okay. Cool. So that's 1, 2, 5, 6 with help. Hookah, hookah, hookah. Hey, now I'm rolling ones.
Hey,
It's 2 1s and 1 6.
awesome. So they
We have suck pool again.
Yes, suck pool again. This was the perfect roll. No one inside the hearse, as far as you can tell, are aware of what you're doing, Brooke. Anyone that's paying attention outside is looking at the Rolf Wolf show. And you get to hear the sound of, like, I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it, but basically sounds of someone drinking heavily, loud gulps,
Oh.
and soft sounds of someone's voice just panting slowly. What do you do? That's the one that's to make the situation worse. You don't know if the door's locked. It might not be locked. Who knows? It's from the back, right? The back of the hearse.
Right, right. Well, that's freaking terrible. but I feel like if I just fly the door open, it's going to be a whole extremely dangerous thing. I think I'm going to keep it together long enough to scoot next to one of the wheels of the hearse
Mm-hmm.
and like get the valve cap off and then shove a pebble into it so that it depresses the air
Right. So
stop
it's
and
going to,
gets stuck.
Okay. Makes sense.
And
Yeah.
then I'll scramble off in kind of a hurry because, oh my God.
Yeah. All right. You do that thing. And
That's a cool hearse picture.
Yeah, I thought so too. So I want to make
Oh,
sure
the
that we're all on the same
fins.
page. Yeah, that's the classic hearse. Very old school hearse that is a thing. But it's got, 4 doors, 2 on either side, and then huge area in the back of the trunk, as it were. You set
And
up
yeah,
the
as soon as
pebble.
I'm
Yeah.
joined back up with the boys, I'm like, they are fucking drinking someone to death in there. Oh my God.
I need to
I'd
stop
like all
them.
of you to now, with that sure knowledge, take 1 stress, please.
Yep.
You can convert it to a condition if you wish.
Take
Or
that.
you can just eat it. Boy, Wolf, you really don't want much stress, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I'll
why
take
you're
that first one.
You're gonna eat it. All right.
I'm eating it.
Okay. And sure enough, just for dramatic purposes, even though I think you were on the other side of the vehicle, you can see that tire is automatic. Like, it's lowering. This is a heavy vehicle. You do something like that, and it starts to flatten that quickly. It will be noticeable. And then the front door opens up, and sure enough, out steps 10-gallon hat wearing Texas partner, Lance's friend, coworker, minion, Renfield. As he steps out, he looks right at you, Rolf, because you guys made the decoy, right? And he walks over and starts to check out that tire. What do you do?
I mean, we gotta rescue him, right?
He's got his eyes on me. I need to pay his cash.
You need to what?
I need to pay the cash.
Oh,
Cash.
okay.
I could try and get the vamp out and haul whoever it is out the back.
Yeah, I'll try to get his attention.
Okay.
All right. Well, if you want to get his attention.
Yep. I think Rolf is just gonna go like, "Hey, aren't you the cowboy?"
Hello, Rolf.
Sorry, I forgot your name, man.
That's all right. He pulls out of his pocket. He's got one of those lock blades, and you hear it snap in place. And he bends down. He's paying a little bit more attention to the tire itself, and he's noticed the pebble, and he's starting to try to work that out. But he also doesn't want to, cut or slice anything. Well, Mr. O'Neill, what can I do for you? I notice that you and Wolf Weiler are out here talking. Do you have problems at the concert?
No, but they don't appreciate it if you smoke inside. Smoke.
Yeah. Weird. Pops the pebble out.
What's going on?
Enough wind has come out where enough air has come out of the tire where he now realizes, yeah, I'm gonna have to do something more about that. So he looks around for the car. Shenanigans, it appears. Y'all wouldn't know anything about that, would you?
Shenanigans?
Somebody pulled the cap off here and plenty of this pebbling here. Sure enough,
Oh no,
looks
I
like
was
I
just
got
like
myself
I was just confused because she sounded like my dad.
ain't your pappy, son. So, Brooke, as
Well,
you're
my
having this,
dad wouldn't say
this
pappy, so yeah.
so Brooke, what's the plan here? He seems properly conversant with Rolf and Wolf.
Well and truly distracted. Uh, hmm. Just sort of trying to think about the material opportunities that I've got, right?
Mm-hmm.
God, if only Chip was out here. That'd be really, really funny.
I mean,
But
Chip is probably still by the AOL/Red Bull booth. I also have, well, a potential cliffhanger because of time and the knowledge that Jen, you likely won't be here next session. It does damsel you a little bit though, so I just want to check in. That's a thing where basically you move around, the door opens up, you get snatched inside, and then the car drives away with Tex here with Rolf and Wolf as he's a little surprised. That is one option that I throw out there.
that's pretty narratively convenient for writing me out of next week, so I won't say that I'm against it. Just right off.
Okay.
That does function. My big plan was to basically be like, hey, Chip, I saw those guys and they were putting all of these stacks of AOL CDs in the back of their hearse, but now they're all gone. You want to go get them together? Let's do it. And then
I
while
think
he's
that's great.
opening
And
the
like,
door, I spill his AOL CDs and they can be a tripping hazard for, for anyone who tries to chase us.
oh, that's great. my CDs, or no, my discs, my discs.
Right. He can have his cabbages moment.
Nice little Avatar crossover. That's good. I mean, we could carry. Do you want to fold that in? So you've got this great plan. You have Chip, and Chip starts working at the back, and he's trying to open the hearse while Tex is talking. And Tex is about to like walk around the back, right? So he's going to have to get the not a bubble, it's a full-on tire, but he's going to have to get the spare and the jack and all that stuff to work on changing it. So he's probably going to discover what's going on with Chip. But in the meantime, you move around to the door. You've got this perfect plan, and then the door opens up, and we see Claudette as she snatches you and like yanks you in, and then all of a sudden the vehicle just takes off, like driving
and then
away.
The credits start to roll.
The credits roll as we see Rolf and Wolf surprised along with Tex and Chip going, my floppies, he threw them all over the and then yeah, that's how we will work Brooke out of next session, because you'll be doing awesome Gen Con stuff for your other job or your real job or the job. Basically, you're doing Gen Con stuff. Yay for you. Enjoy yourself. It's awesome. So let's do our end of session advancement points related stuff. One for showing up. You made it to the session, you participated, you get an advancement point. It's terrible, right? Participation trophy and all. It's the end of the universe. All of you start with one advancement point. Vanquish foes. You took part in a battle and won. You get 1 point. Yes, you did. Claudette was feeding on Phil, and he's safe now. So you all get an advancement point. Also, I would say vanquished with Damon Dillon, because Rolf, you vanquished him. He was vanquished. So 1 point across the board. Great job yet again. We can talk about marking that up for our wishes. Nothing happened at work. Now, that was part of the plan, but that's definitely violating the spirit of minimum wage for me to have so many scenes and so much of the game that has nothing to do with you guys doing stuff at the mall. So something to think about. Character voices. So we're sitting at 2 right now. If you do something really cool in role play, somebody really embodies their character and makes the story awesome, get a point. I have fun with every scene that you guys had on your individual level, so 3 advancement points around. And if you took an ongoing condition in lieu of accumulating stress, you earn a point. I think the only one who chose to do that, there are 2 that broke you 8 your stress. So advancement points for Wolf and Rolf, but none for you, Brooke. Extraordinary action, you chose to do real good, right, Brooke? Rather than because you were feeling okay with that. So then that means it's 3 for Brooke, 4 for Wolf and Rolf. Good. All right. I need to take a. If you guys want to stick around, we're technically at the hour. So if anybody needs to go. I'd love to do stars and wishes for anyone who wants to stick around, but I'd like to do like a quick 2-minute bio break, and then we'll collect our thoughts. So we'll see you guys in a couple minutes.
All right, see you in a minute. One of the cats wanted to take a brief tour of my room while the door was open.
Appropriate. Should tour if.
Fair enough.
Uh,
Is that a unicycle behind you? Yes, it is. Okay. Yeah.
Well spotted. I do not actually ride unicycle, but somebody had just put that whole ass unicycle out next to the dumpsters
Fair.
with a deflated tire. That's all that was wrong with it.
Okay.
It looks
Not
really
like just
nice,
deflated, not
like
even
newish.
Like I replaced the tube, but after I replaced the tube, I was like, wait a second, I didn't check to see if the tube was leaky. I just assumed that it was.
Huh.
So yeah, but it looks nice. Honestly, I was learning to ride the unicycle when I lived in Michigan and kind of dropped off of that and like sold my unicycle in a garage sale. And I was like, well, maybe I'll keep it. But I don't have any area around here that I feel is ideal for me to practice. So who knows? But Baker cute. Unicycle's hard.
It looks hard. It looks really challenging.
I've tried it a few times and I never got further than like
Yeah,
a few
like
feet.
yeah, like in Michigan, I want to say like 2 blocks away from where I lived ish. There was a park, and that park had a couple of like tennis areas with some fencing. So I could ride next to the fencing and like
That's smart.
hold on to it or fall into it and not go all the way to the ground. You know, I could get 8-ish feet without eating shit. So that was progress.
Yeah, I would not even. It's not even worth the attempt. Like it's one of those like, can I make this bottle of water into holy water with no trading? I wouldn't even roll. Like I wouldn't even chuck it at Claudette. I've been like, good luck.
YOLO, my friend, YOLO. They even make unicycles for mountain trails, for like mountain biking. They have brakes.
How do you?
They have like you put a hand lever under the seat.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yep.
And then what? You fall over?
Yeah, basically, I stopped, but now I tip over, but I don't.
You're
a lot of
not.
that bouncy,
You're not trying
bouncy
to
bits.
stop. You're trying to slow down.
I suppose, yeah.
You're trying to slow down so that the momentum doesn't pitch you forward,
Makes some sense.
among other things. And so you can turn a little better. But yeah.
Crazy. Let's start with wishes. Who'd like to go first with wishes?
I can go first. There's I don't have a great deal of wishes just because this one I like all the setup for it. If there is any kind of wish, I would love to have the skate fight or the skate competition bleed quickly into the fight rather than there be some sort of long play on that. I just feel like having it be a fairly immediate sort of thing hits me well. But if others have problems with that, that's just mine.
Makes sense. That's it? Oh, that's pretty good. All right. Thank you, Tyler. And I think that's a good note. Makes sense.
Yeah. I too want to see the skate battle because it's just so cheesy and good.
It is cheesy and good. That's what I'm after. So I'm glad to hear.
So I don't want any conviction on our part to be like, okay, these are jerk vampires we need to throw down to get in the way of skate battle.
Also, I'm just curious how vampires do with skating.
Right?
I'm gonna take the cheap shot and say I wish Echo and Chad were here.
Good one.
It's gonna be interesting next session. Yeah.
Well, luckily we'll be able to like have Echo and Chad next session. What I'd like to do is like front load a little bit to do some concert stuff with Echo and Percy because I'm just really curious how that's going to go, and then also to see how Chad is when he's away from the others. He's probably going to get kicked on by the preps. Let's just be honest, right? So that'll be fun. Sweet. So let's stick with you, Jan. You're last to go with wishes. You get to go first for stars. Any highlights for today?
I was a big fan of the whole, like it felt like a concert. I felt young going to a concert, basically.
Good.
You know, not a bit broke. So like, yeah, let's not even bother with the trying to buy anything. And let's get good spots and enjoy and mosh pits. That definitely got back some feels.
Good. I have limited mosh pit experience, so I was.
Me too, but I mean, I've done a few, and that was always still like, it's still always been an experience where I was like,
It's invigorating.
Yes.
It is a high alert, high excitement kind of activity. Yep. Cool. Thank you, Jan. So then, Jen.
Let's see, wishes here. Agree that it really felt like a concert. There were a lot of good details in the description and setup for the scenes that really, I think, brought us into what was happening. That was very good. I liked how kind of messy it was scene-wise. Just sort of added to that milling crowd feel. I liked the streams crossing a little bit with Muffy being like, "Oh, you're pretending to be vampires. Okay, bye."
Muffy is still Muffy.
Yep, and the curtain was drawn a little bit because you got to see Phil bleeding into the night.
Yeah.
Poor Phil.
Poor
Could have
Phil.
been worse though. And yeah, no, everybody I think got some cool scenes. You all did some goofy stuff. I am sorry that I was Dr. Rollgood and took all of the good rolls.
Literally took all the 6s. Statistically unlikely, but we have proof that you took all the 6s.
I mean, I only had 1 roll, so it's fine.
That's true. And that would be a wish for me. Is like I definitely want Rolf to be like leading, die rolling, conflict, doing
next
stuff.
session is gonna have like with the skating and there's gonna be rolls for me. It's fine.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah.
I wanted to add another star for the adorkable flirting between Wolf and Sandy. No.
Sylvia.
That was it. It was an S name. It was adorkable.
Good. I also felt the adorkability and quite enjoyed it. Tyler.
I'll echo. I think this had a real cool concert feel. Yeah, the whole process, the moving into the being in the concert, I could see it. It was very well laid out. I Tyler grow more fond of Muffy in scenes every session. I mean, I still think Wolf thinks she's kind of a vacuous, shallow person, but that's because he hasn't dealt with her very much, other than kind of being vacuous or shallow. And I like the character. I think the character's neat in the mix. I'm glad. I want to start letting us kind of put Sylvia in a slightly different place in our fiction. Because I did like the scene there. I think that was cute. I like that you've made Lance an attractive monster. I mean, not just like he's handsome or you describe him as attractive looking. He's not just an asshole.
He was likable.
Right. I mean, if we want an asshole, there's Zach, and he's not a monster. He's just a dweeb. But there's something to how you play him very subtly and interesting that makes him a really cool monster. And, I like the little minion goth girl as well. I thought she came across much more of the immediate threat than the way he kind of does, and that was cool. And then I thought everybody played neat stuff. I like Brooke's interactions with Muffy, and I like Brooke's knowledge of the describing things to Muffy, telling Muffy how to, that was fun and it was sweet. And I thought, Jan, you didn't roll a bunch, but you did a shitload. So, I mean, that's, sometimes the rolls aren't there, but there was certainly lots of action you led. And I think we ended up getting, a lot of our big information off of how you handled that interaction with Lance. So I thought that was really cool too. And you're dealing with the dweeb squad's muscle guy was good too.
Good. I had lots of stars. I think the Brooke Muffy friendship romance is delightful. I like that Buffy isn't cured. Like occasionally she's still kind of a terrible person, or at least she's from a terrible upbringing, that so her default assumptions are not the most thoughtful or kind. But Brooke will call her out on it, and that continues to be pretty great. I liked Rolf in the mosh pit. It was really his element. You owned that. While there weren't many die rolls, I think that was fictionally justified. Like, you're the superhero. You were awesome, and I really liked the way you drew some information out from Lance, the interactions you had, the way you would check him on like, hey dude, like you're kind of obvious. And Lance was just like, oh, maybe you're not wrong. Oh, by the way, I've dropped a picture of Lance in the monsters. So row 23. I think, Tyler, you'll like that. So, yeah. Thank you, Tyler, for using the X card to like script change, kind of like, hey, let's revisit that for Sylvia. I was 100% open to it. I appreciate you saying something, and I think that it led to some more interesting role play. So that was fun, and I really like the Sharpie writing on your arm. That was so concert. That was just really, that was viscerally real and fun. So this was good stuff. I was concerned of like, I have to really think back to my like going concert days, and you guys really helped a lot too. So thank you so much. We'll go ahead and bring the stream to an end here. Next week we will be finishing up the concert, leading straight to the skate park contest, and then we'll be taking a brief break from Minimum Rage. Because we'll have no Sabine, so we'll be playing some Monsters of the Week with the Kids on Bikes flavor, which I'm quite excited for. So, thanks everybody for watching, and thank you guys for playing.